Good morning, Tuvalu, and welcome to Star Trek's original pilot, The Cage. Now, as people are gonna have to set up, because this is a TOS, I'm gonna have to explain some things as we turn the wonderful ambience down a bit. There are two versions of The Cage that I know of. There is the original cut, and then there's an extended edition, that we're going to be watching the original cut for two reasons. One, the extended edition is very rough. It's unfinished, is what it is. It's very much a for the fans, like, who want that history. Some bits are black and white, some bits don't have special effects, and it starts with like 10 minutes of Gene Roddenberry on the TNG set explaining this to the viewer. Also, it's hard to get a hold of. I don't think they have it on Paramount Plus, so it's not very accessible. There are also, as with all of TOS, two versions of that original cut. There is the original and the remastered. Today, we are going to be, I am going to be watching the remastered cut. If you have the original, and only the original, don't worry. If you want to watch the original, it should be exactly the same. The only thing is we'll see different special effects. So you won't fall out of sync or anything. The link in the description should be to the remastered on Paramount Plus. But we're doing it for two reasons. First, apparently I never ripped the original cuts onto my hard drives, so this is what we've got. But I grew up with original. My dad, and I'm about to age myself quite a bit, but as a kid, my dad had the original series remastered on HD DVD. And I know there are those out there who probably had it on VHS, but HD DVD is such a narrow window of time for me to have known about it as a kid. Does anyone actually remember HD and DVD? Alex, do you remember HD DVD?
Isn't that all DVDs?
No, it was like Blu-ray, but not as successful.
I remember HD DVD. Also, if you're looking up there and like, hey, that's new art, that's because I drew it.
Oh, yep, Alex, of course, does all the thumbnail art. It should say...
Well, all the cartoons.
All the characters, yes,
Yeah.
Except Picard's first and last episode, where they did a, like, evil Starfleet and a normal Starfleet, and I combined them. But you still did the characters.
But basically do all, like, the
Yeah.
little characters.
I did the transition for that, but all the other characters are, of course, Alex.
And
But yeah.
Nathan, better link my YouTube or Tumblr in the
It's in the description. One of them. I don't remember
Probably
what.
the YouTube.
I asked you ages ago. Something's in the description. But yeah, now with that out of the way, so get your remastered original cuts of The Cage up and ready. Yeah, it feels like a long time since we've done one of these, even though it's only been a week. I recorded the Watch Order Guide Modern. That went well. I need to learn how to read from a teleprompter without looking like I'm reading from a teleprompter. But
Did you end up editing the last me reviewing Starships?
no, not yet. But the audio was saved. We did it on the bad mic from that one stream, but the audio from that recording was not bad. So I should get that at some point.
I just hadn't seen one in a while, and
Yeah.
sometimes I watch those while I'm drawing.
Well, I got a Lego Coliseum, of course, and I've been really wanting to focus on that Watch Order Guide. The Lego Coliseum distracted me, but I've started editing that. We're on pace to get it before Picard Season 3, or at least like that same week. I also did a recording for something else that is not N-Squared. It's not even one of my projects, but I think that's Tuesday. I think that's going out.
It's up your
You don't know about it. Nope.
Up your butt.
But yeah. The Cage. We're about to
Cage,
start
also known as Comics Kennel.
the longest, what is probably the longest watch through of the original series ever attempted. Is God knows when we'll actually finish this. We're not only gonna do, like, in between the Star Trek shows. Eventually I want a main slot, like, every week, but for now, it's just gonna be when there's not a Star Trek this week. And I legitimately don't know when the next one of those is after next week. So,
It's a filler series at the moment.
basically, but it's also something I want to do, and I like doing it with Picard. Doesn't look like we've got an active chat, at least not yet, but we'll get into The Cage. With Captain Christopher, Woman on the Bridge, Pike, everybody's favorite. And
Spock!
I've been thinking, yeah, Spock's here too. I've been thinking,
Young Spock, unlike young Sheldon.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, that Pike in The Cage, from what I can remember, is actually, like, quite different from Strange New Worlds Pike. They're almost opposites, where Strange New Worlds Pike, I've even criticized as being too casual, like at the inappropriate moments, and this Pike was very not. He was, like, tired of being in the military and stuff. But we'll get into that. TOS, if you've never seen The Cage, you're in for a treat. Of course, there's the glorious sound design that we've been listening to. Should have won an award. Never did. But, yeah, I think we will just get started. So let me... Oh, yeah, I forgot. Don't open that tab. I really should move what section of the screen I capture to get that time bar. But this is why I don't have any windows of Amazon orders open. There we go. Yes, so now I'm gonna have to repeat basically everything I just said for the video, but I'll do it much quicker. So start recording. Right, so what we're gonna do today is watch along of The Cage, the original pilot of Star Trek. We are going to be watching the original cut, not the extended version, and I am going to be watching the remastered edition, but the original you will keep in sync. We'll just see different special effects. And, you know, so if I'm commenting about a special effects or, like, the general quality of the show, visual, audio, we won't be seeing exactly the same thing. But then we're going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we're all going to hit play. And that's just going to be my commentary as I remember to mute system output real quick. But yes, if you're watching the version on Paramount Plus, you'll be in sync. It's currently Season 1, Episode 1, but often on DVDs, or streaming services, The Cage is the very end of season 3. Don't ask me why they do it, but they do. So yes, without further ado, where's my timer? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. With the wonderful music that I need to turn up. Oh, I also need subtitles. Hang on, you're gonna lose the. do. There we go, in sync. Oh god, I forgot the title text and stuff. The Cage.
Yeah.
It's all a bit weird.
Starring Jeffrey Hunter.
As Captain Christopher Pike.
Guest star Susan Oliver.
She won't get a name for like 50 years.
Star Trek roommate Gene Roddenberry.
That one, I do know that one. Leonard Nimoy doesn't get a mention. That's interesting.
And Leonard Nimoy starring
Oh,
the
look
most
at this
crucial
effect, though.
role of what the fuck
Yep.
is this?
Did you remember there was a glass ceiling on the Enterprise?
No. As the most perfect role of Spock, also known as the first bit of
Yeah.
autistic representation.
Apparently, my subtitle
What the
just
fuck is
says
up with his eyebrows?
Chapter 1. It's The Cage!
Got 2 giant caterpillars
He does, actually.
just hanging out on his face. I refuse to believe those are real eyebrows.
They're not, definitely. Look, we should have bought an audio splitter if you wanted to watch. You can join next week. TOS sound design really should have won an award. Like, oh, here's something I learned recently. When Alex did the art for the science little symbol on the badges that Spock is not
You
wearing.
mean yesterday?
Yeah, it's a sphere. The little science symbol. I never clocked it is 3-dimensional because it's like
Technically,
pretty.
it's 4-dimensional because you can see all sides of the sphere, but
It's pretty, like, hand done, so it's not perfect. I always thought it was just some like random scribbles, but it's a sphere that you can see the circumference of.
I think it's a planet. Nathan thinks it's just a symbol.
Yeah. Oh, his hair's a bit weird too. That's something they never do before. Did you see that? Spock did like a gesture, like he was Iron Man or something, and the thing changed. Wow. Was the Cage the origin of Class M? Yeah, this is the first time I've seen the Cage since Strange New Worlds, probably since Discovery Season 2, honestly. So I'm used to New Pike, but you know I'm never gonna let Captain Christopher Woman on the Bridge Pike live that down. As these vacationing teens walk through the set. Pre-flip phone. Is this what TOS looks like without color? Like, I'm so used to...
Why is he laying on a couch like one of the French girls?
Well, I'm so used to, like, purple, green lights, whatever. Is this what the original
That is a
set?
chair from the 50s and 60s.
Yes, it is. 1963?
I like that bag, though. I'd use that bag. I'm doing this completely without audio, by the way, so if you guys hear comments that make
Look,
no sense...
I'll buy an audio splitter, and you can join me next week.
Well, we need an audio splitter for, like, the
Yeah. Other stuff.
original series, but also Danganronpa. Or as you like to refer to it as, didn't you? Why is it just a, like, clipboard and not a...
It is a clipboard, it's not a data pad, huh?
It's straight up a clipboard.
Well, look, they hadn't invented touchscreens
Why
yet.
is there a man just in a robe?
What?
That man's just wearing a bathrobe.
He's the doctor. Oh yeah, yeoman is a rank.
Yo, man.
Yeoman.
Yo, man.
It's like secretary.
Secretary of State.
No.
Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, it's...
Is that actually one concurrent viewer, or is that just,
No one knows. No one knows how YouTube works.
not even YouTube?
Trying to comment on the episode.
I'm commenting on the episode. I just don't know what's happening. They have really blue eyes.
I've noticed that. Actually, they both do.
Yeah, both of
But
them.
this Pike, yeah, is definitely not Strange New Worlds Pike, which is fine.
Pike's Place? Like in Seattle?
Maybe he's having a really bad day, you know,
Pike's Place.
Pike. The horsey is going to bite you now.
I'll bite you. Ow! I bit myself.
I like,
Oh, I actually did bite the inside of my mouth. I hurt myself.
oh god, oh yeah, there are Orions in the cage. But, I'm liking how much pilot this episode is, and that, like, they had the very overt, hey, look at our flip phone. But then they have, like, Pike just casually referencing the amount of people on the Enterprise and, all that stuff. I like how pilot it is. I bet Dr. Boyce also gets, the dead. Oh, the best sound. I thought it was Talos. No, it's Talos 4. That's right, not Talos Prime. Yes, they did just print a piece of paper off. The 60s imagining the future. It's so interesting. Like, they have the screens, you know. It's just the interesting little... It's weird. I don't know. Time warp, yeah. I find it interesting retroactively that the great length Gene Roddenberry went to incorporate real science into Star Trek, into the cage, makes it fit worse and not make as much sense next to the series. Like, time warp, if you go faster than light, God, I love this music too. If you go faster than light, like, yeah, time warp. Well, no, if you just goes fast, you know, time warps. But if you're in a warp bubble, like, it's not warping. You're not gonna do some crazy, time warpy stuff. And of course, Enterprise had, like, normal warp, so, you know, it's just interesting retroactively. She's probably gonna hand paper, yeah. But, someone pointed out to me, I never realized myself how weird it is that the crew is constantly handing, like, an ensign. Oh, wait, here's the line. There we go. We never let him live that down. You think I'm gonna let Captain Christopher Woman on the Bridge Pike live that down?
I'm sorry, did I just hear the phrase, am I going to let Christopher Woman on the bridge
He has the line in this, he just said it, I just can't get used to the idea of a woman on the bridge. And so we never
Isn't this supposed to be like...
Gene Roddenberry was...
23,000 years in the future?
It's like 200? 300? 200? No, 200. But Gene Roddenberry's interesting, and, like, his beliefs in his actions in like Star Trek and are often in conflict. I don't know too much about the man personally, and it's been a
Andy
while.
bought me cream soda. Would you like one?
Huh? What?
Would you like one?
Oh, no thanks.
Okay. Chat, would you like a cream soda?
I'm trying to comment on the episode!
I'm trying to be a good host.
You can't hear it!
Into our room.
You can't hear it.
You invite these people into our room. And you're having a watch party. I'm trying to be a good host.
Did he step away from the sliding doors? Like he was a bit spooked. Like, doors don't do that. That's like stage hands, you know?
It's Spock with the caterpillar eyebrows.
Oh, do you remember the scene with the flowers?
No.
Oh, here you go. There's a scene I want you to see. You don't have to hear it. I love the sounds of the original series. They're just so good. I remember the way they did this. Oh, it's not the same effect. Never. Oh, there it is. Yeah, they like had a jar of like gel with glitter that they shook and turned upside down. And that's how they did it. There's no red shirt, so they'll all live. That's good. So it's coming up. Actually, I don't know if this is remastered, but that's a really good sky for TOS.
It's painted.
Well, yes, but
It's very
usually it's
obviously a
just
painted
one
backdrop.
color. Usually it's just like purple everywhere, but this has clouds. Well, I think this pilot was like stupidly over budget as well. But it makes sense.
That's why they had no budget for the rest of the series.
Here's the bit. These flowers are like humming, whatever they're singing. And Spock.
My
Oh, look at that phaser.
my
He just smiled. He gave a big smile, see?
I know, because he heard the Maya He song.
And the entire character of Ethan Peck's Spock was based off of this scene.
Are you insulting another actor playing Spock? Because I'm down for the slander.
No, I'm insulting the writer. The actor's doing a good job. He can do Spock. And there's an episode of Strange New Worlds where he does
Look, more
Spock.
singing flowers.
But he's just not written to be Spock.
Lisa
You know?
Plesa, numa numa ye. Numa numa ye. Numa numa ye.
Don't make me go order the audio splitter now.
Oh my gosh, it's some old men. Hello, old men. We are new men. We see there are no females among your group.
There's
You're
one.
useless to us.
What does that even mean, the time barrier's been broken? Like, see, it's just retroactively there,
Look,
Yeah.
there is one young. Isn't she not real?
Uh,
Or like something
you
about her
could
is
not
real?
be more wrong.
Something about her is like. Something about this is like fake and like she's not what she seems.
Look at
Oh
the
yeah,
big
it's
brain
these
heads.
fuckers.
Yeah. You can't say that. It's not Picard anymore. You can't swear. It's the 60s.
Sorry. It's these yellow bellies. Is that better?
Sure, yeah.
How
I
about
remember
racist bastards.
they
That was
used
in the
to-
60s. Can I say racist bastards?
No, we can swear as much as the show, and TOS doesn't swear. But
No ships, dams, fucks,
they
assholes.
used to play the cage like really
Is
often.
bastard really a swear?
Let me commentate. They used to play the cage really often. So like I remember on hotels and stuff often when they didn't have many channels, the cage was always something that seemed to be on. And so I used to like see clips of it a lot as a kid because I'm pretty sure we didn't watch it with my dad. I feel bad now. You went very quiet. But let me commentate. Look, there's 80 episodes you can watch
Hey, we
after
got another
this.
viewer.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
Okay, if they've been like stranded here for like a long time, why does she have makeup?
You don't remember the plot.
If they've been stranded here for a while, how does she have makeup?
It's answered. I thought the way she stepped back, I thought she was fainting. She was just gonna fall backwards, like, on the ground. I was like, what?
Is he gonna pull a Riker and try to have sex with the random lady?
This isn't Kirk.
I know.
They wanted
Kirk
more
didn't
Kirk.
either.
Yeah.
This is more like Riker.
I like the steps on those
Riker
rocks.
nearly effed a light.
That was all you.
Okay, every other episode is Riker trying to get jiggy with something. And it's not just me making that joke. Long live the king, and she just pushes him off.
Oh.
Told her she
Where'd
wasn't
she
real,
go?
she disappeared. Like a ghost.
I love how Spock's arms were out there and they just snapped right next to him. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
they've been pepper sprayed.
Did he just use a magic wand?
No, it was a favor. Set to Lego. Set to Lego.
I can't hear you, by the way.
No
With
good.
these headphones.
I like how they do that rock door. It looks very natural, like, for the time. Are those supposed to be phasers?
Yeah, they're the cage phasers.
They look
Are
like
they
guns.
are they just the original phasers, but like with something tacked on? No, they're a bit different.
They look like if the sonic screwdriver had a baby with a phaser. Maybe I just don't remember what the original phasers
I'm
were.
noticing a lot of this crew seems to be injured in some way, but like more than this guy in the yellow. He's got like a bandaged hand, and I was like, maybe the actor just broke his wrist or something, and like they don't care. But one of the other guys had some like him. He's got a neck patch or something. So like, it'd be weird if like coincidentally that many actors had
That's a-
injuries.
Cheese grater attached
Well-
to potato.
I wonder if that's intentional to show that like the crew's, you know, because Pike's whole thing is that he's wary of the command and like the burden, and so I wonder if there's it's like to show that,
He's getting butt
the
diddled
ship's
by the
been-
aliens.
you know, it's been going through rough stuff.
For some reason, this is so much more entertaining without sound. Because I can make up what's happening.
I'm finding it hard to pay attention to comment because I have to listen to you.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Look, next week.
Hexacon is bestagon.
Next week you can come on and I'll buy an audio splitter.
I feel like you should have bought an audio splitter before this.
You haven't seen this episode, and I didn't think you'd want to do it this week. I would have asked.
Bing.
They didn't look. Oh yeah, there he. Okay, I did check, and the timestamps of this and Paramount Plus were identical. I don't remember that scene, so maybe it's not quite the original cut, but
There is
literally,
multiple
I
Yeti
checked. They
Easter
started the same. Oh, I remember the bird thing.
eggs. Birdman McGee. Birdman McGee.
Oh, you know what? This is an hour.
That's just somebody's hand.
I know what it is. This is an hour and 3 minutes. So they probably had to trim like 15 minutes or so to get it on TV to broadcast. So like this is why I don't remember.
The back
those
of their
things.
heads look like
They
butts.
they really do have butts on the back of their head. But their makeup's really well. Like, the physical makeup has
Dude,
pulses in the
imagine
veins.
if the back of the Ferengi's head looks like that. Then they'd have ball foreheads and ass backs.
They've got butts on, like, the top back. Let me concentrate, though.
I like how they did the veins.
But yeah, the vein pulsing is, like,
Slightly
practical
nauseating.
effects. That's not the remastered.
Oh, that is horrifying. I'm gonna look away. It's making me sick.
As a kid, I was terrified of the original series. I was, like, watching it under blankets and stuff. I don't know why. Like, even for me, that feels much, but yeah, I was terrified. It is a really well done episode. Like, I like the way the Telosians act. I can see why CBS, was it? NBC, commissioned a second pilot.
She's pretty.
His hair's different, right, Spock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very different.
It's weird.
Like, this looks like the first day of a haircut, and the rest of the series it looks like... Also, it's swooped to the side, when normally it's a...
What it reminds me of, honestly, is Q's first appearances. Like, his hair's different in a very similar way. What are you doing?
Right now, Spock has generic white guy hair, which is weird, because he's not white. But in the series, it's very much...
Yeah.
Looks like the day you get the haircut, when it still looks a little funky because it needs to grow out, and the rest of the original series, it looks like the 2 weeks when it looks the best after a haircut. Also, all these dudes have generic white guy haircuts.
Where'd they get that drawing? I think they did
Spock
see a
drew
bit.
it, probably.
I think they did see a bit.
Hey, there's 2 women in this.
One of them's in command.
Fancy.
That's why she's not in any other episode, though. She gets to voice the computer.
Why does it look like they just draped a garbage bag over styrofoam?
It's paper mache. I like that uniform too. Yeah, he's very not Strange New Worlds Pike.
So Pike's the main dude we keep seeing. He has a really strong
Well,
jawline.
way more than I would have thought. He's very
Kind
not.
of looks like Clark Kent, if Clark Kent was
I am commentating.
Hey, look, it's the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, he's very not Strange New Worlds Pike. Like, way more than I would have remembered. Which is alright. I mean, with Pike, they've created my favorite, like, multi-series arc.
Romeo, father does not want us to wed. Sorry, I'm adding my own dialogue.
With Pike, they've created my, like, favorite multi-series arc.
I cannot go with you, Juliet.
Alex!
You don't have to.
With Pike, they've created like my favorite multi-series arc. And Pike's Stranger Worlds character has problems, but he was wonderful. He was a breath of fresh air, and it's all right. Like, he was pretty much a minor character, and his biggest role was in the Menagerie, where he couldn't really talk. Maybe he is, like, he's just been through a bad time. But, like, I can't imagine, Anson Mount, kind of acting like the... Anson Mount here would be quipping, kind of thing. But this Pike's very, like, analytical and thinking and, like, analyzing his situation, but also more aggressive, more physical, more tired, and, like, God, Starfleet, why am I here? And remember, this is before Strange New Worlds by a few years.
I have a question. It's the last time I will interrupt your stream. They're mixing a bunch of, like, cultures past. Is that kind of the point of this scene? Because I saw, like, a Chinese/Japanese-esque flying dragon.
That is the 60s going, we want something different and alien, so we're going to look at Asia.
Okay.
That's probably... Or it's, the prop department had, like, some tribally, vaguely Mongolian-y stuff, and they were like, great, we're spending loads of money, let's just take this. He's like some savage tribes person, so we'll put him in Mongolian.
So they're being racist, got it.
What's the parody line? It's like, we're the alien species that doesn't represent any one culture, but still feels kind of iffy. Which is... I love that.
Okay, I'll stop interrupting your...
You can... I'd love to have you next week when you can actually hear, and we can both make meaningful commentary.
Instead of me just ad-libbing.
And talking over my...
See, did you see the dragon?
Talking over what I'm saying. Yeah.
My final thought... If you were to take her in that outfit out of context, it looks like a low-budget Romeo and Juliet.
I wouldn't say low budget. It looks like an older Romeo and Juliet. Like, it's not a $20 million dress that's been enhanced, like, with CGI and everything. It's just like a medieval dress, Yeah.
It's not super high quality, though. Anyways.
Well, neither would, like, a medieval dress, right?
They'd be if she was meant to be like a princess, it would be a higher quality than that. It'd be made
but
of like
for the time is the thing.
Silks
like,
and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, she wouldn't have like those colors. She would have more like reds, pinks, and blues.
Well, it is an alien planet.
Fair enough. Maybe yellow's the rare color here. Okay, carry on.
Yep.
I'll talk to you later, chat, when I won't be as annoying.
The reason I'm not just, like, letting Alex listen is the only way to do that is to play the audio through the TV, and the mic would pick that up, and it wouldn't work. It would also then be a copyright violation, so...
Also, this movie is... She cut her hair since the beginning of the episode.
And I have Bluetooth headphones, and you... Actually, I think even in general, you can't have two audio outputs from... VLC Media or like Windows in general, so I can't just like plug headphones in.
Hey, don't bark.
I'm wondering now, like, if I watch this, would I have kept watching the show with, like, after the cage? There's a lot of interesting stuff. I think Pike's a little, maybe, like, rougher than I might have preferred, but that's, like, real critical for, like, just this one episode I've seen a bit of. But it's probably, like, very different from a lot of what would have been on anyways in the 60s. The only other 60s show I'd know is Doctor Who. But even then, that wasn't as...
Hi, buddy.
Why
is there a tissue box
what's the
down
word?
here?
Philosophical? I don't know if that's the right word, but... It's got to have been different, I imagine. Very different from anything else that was on the air in the 66. Is this 66? I'm pretty confident it's 66. Let me check.
The dog has decided to join us.
65! Oh, we're even earlier. I did not know Star Trek The Cage predated Doctor Who. So this is a 61-year-old episode of television. Look at those goggles. Are you on the stream, Comet? Is my dog up here? Mwah. That door don't stand a chance. So I know that they've actually obliterated that door. And they can't see it because of the Telosians. But wouldn't it have been funny if, like, some rock flew off from this obliteration, like, smacked one of them straight in the head, but, like, they couldn't see it, you know? I would imagine that, I can never remember how to pronounce her name. It's like Mirage Barrett? I can never remember. It's a name I've only read and not heard. I wonder if she's the longest, like, in terms of time, actor of the franchise. Because she was The Cage till, All Good Things? Like, she must have been in the Enterprise finale. Comment, are you making noise on the stream? I'm kind of quiet for a lot of this, but it's the mental, I'm trying to think of the word, because it's, you kind of have to work it out. There's a lot to think about, to listen to in Star Trek. And the classic in particular, like The Cage as well.
Her eyes are really blue, too.
Huh?
Her eyes are really blue, too.
Yeah. Pike's got like a gray blue. I don't know. It's a lot of vibrant eyes. I wonder if it's either they did just hire a lot of, maybe this eye was, you know, popular, you could get bigger, or if there's something about the camera, lighting, whatever, that makes this type of eye stand out even more. Because I, like, never notice eyes, either. There are eyes as well, even that, like, Telosian. I wonder if there's something about the filming. You can't comment. You can't chew my pants strings next to the microphone.
It'll get picked up by your mic, Comet. It'll get picked up by your mic.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to listen to chewing sounds. No one wants to listen to masticating. Yeah. I knew she was fake. Sorry.
She's the only real one here, besides the crew. Well, the Telosians are real, I guess.
He kind of looks like a human Squidward. That's what I've been thinking.
Yeah. You
Sorry.
know? No, that's
I
good.
said I wasn't gonna interrupt. And
That's good. It'd be good avenue for TOS though, like actually hearing it, because there are a lot of these slower bits where like you can look at Pike's butt, like that's a good butt, but there's not much else going on. Yes. Wait, I've just realized Pike's little rank thing. He's got like an ensign shirt on because they haven't created that rank system yet. Commit. The taste, on the other hand, is exclusively bubblegum.
SpongeBob. Where's the clarinet? Oh, he went to hell.
Ow. God, he's getting oatmeal all over his uniform. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I think I would have come back for episode 2 if I watched this.
Your bar is black.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. I wish I could get that to stay there. I have to keep my mouse on it. Comment, you can't eat those. I remember that time the horsey bit you. The horsey will bite you again, Captain Pike.
The dog is falling off your lap.
If you have not seen Lower Decks Season 3... He's really... I love how capable he is, though. Like, he's angry. He's...
Butt like the back of the head. Like, it looks like
he's
Rowan's
harsh.
butt when he ditches his diaper, which he did yesterday.
Huh?
It looks like the Rowan's butt. Like when he ditches his diaper. Which he did do yesterday.
Our young baby nephew.
Sora's the baby. Rowan's a toddler.
Same thing.
It is not. They are different developmental ages.
Oh. I've kind of liked this notion that Star Trek, other things might have had it too, that like humanity is weirdly against captivity, to where like this is where the name of the episode comes from. Even a gilded cage is still a cage. I've kind of liked that notion that, yeah, it is kind of weird that like a utopia that you're just not allowed to leave would be a bad thing.
Unless you're an introvert, then it's called home.
Well, we're talking about a whole species here. We are generalizing. And look at the future city in the back. That's well done, too, for, like, so far in the background. If this was Kirk's time, that would just be blue. They wouldn't even have a city. But there's a horsey. Because this is, I think, the origin of every captain needs to love horsies. Tango. They got a real horse for this episode as well, actually. Like, yeah.
That's why it was so over budget.
They blew their butt. Gene Roddenberry wanted this show. We'll have to compare this to the Where No One Has Gone Before next week. Like, the budgets.
Comet looks like Dumbo.
Just look at this fake grass. We poke fun, but...
That AstroTurf was expensive, Nathan.
We do... you can respect, how it was done, and even admire, like, wow, that's really well done. But
You can
also
roast it to high
poke
heavens.
fun at the fake grass, the perfectly flat grass for as far as the eye can see. He is American, but the flat parts don't usually have green grass.
Or at least he knows he's free.
Do we know where Pike is from in America?
Pike's Place in Seattle.
Yeah, that's why I want to say Seattle. But
I've been making that joke.
Well, no.
So often.
There's also that writer who's from the Pacific Northwest who keeps throwing in references to the Pacific Northwest. So it wouldn't surprise me. I want to check. Mojave! Oh, we literally... Wait. Not the Mojave Desert, surely. Mojave? County in Arizona. Desert in California. Yeah, no, I guess the Mojave Desert is, yeah, alright, a perfectly flat piece of grassland now. I'll give him that. Hey, yeah, there we go. I wonder, Strange New Worlds have to have respected that. It's such a basic thing. I'm looking on Memory Alpha now. Mojave, California, yeah.
Of the Wolf Alpha concept, which was complete and utter bogus.
I'm sorry, I'm on Memory Alpha, and Christopher Pike has pets.
I thought you were gonna say Christopher Walken for a
Tango, yes. Mary Lou, yes. Sir Naze-a-Lot.
Sir
Look at Memory Alpha's Sir Naze-a-Lot Memory Alpha page. He was the first pony owned by Christopher Pike. I'm not gonna read that next sentence.
I want to name our next dog Sir Naze-a-Lot. Like,
yep. We'll end it on that first sentence there.
Oh, that's so funny.
But they couldn't get the perfect man. But, you were nearby, so...
You and your horses.
And then the weird 60s bit of... Is her perfect man like a kind of grumpy, aggressive-y... kind of... Like, I've not seen much about Pike that would have said perfect man to me, to anyone. Like, his looks, like, sure, he's a good-looking guy, but...
He looks like a slightly watered-down Superman.
Well, yeah, if you're into that, like, sure, but he's not in a good mood this episode.
I like that the dog's choosing.
Maybe this is Strange New Worlds Pike. After this conversation with her, he's like, you know what? What would it be like to forget all that? And then he just goes full other way around. He's like the most casual man in existence. We interrupt this episode of Star Trek to bring you Orion Slave Girls.
Sorry, just looking over right as you're saying
Look,
that.
green women. They were
you
here.
made me
They were here from the
snot
start.
all over my
Oh,
computer.
you did. We've come a long way to get to Tendi, haven't we?
Oh.
Secret dreams about... I mean, I'm not sure if you'd be having secret dreams about Orion. Slave girls! Is she in a dinosaur costume? She's got, like, spikes. They hired like not a belly dancer, I'd imagine, but like they hired a specific kind of dancer as well. They went like they were given a big budget and they still blew it.
Shakira, Shakira.
Like even the paint, this is probably the best.
Belly dancer-esque.
Well, this is the
Coming
yeah,
from
that's what I'm
the
getting.
point of view
But
possible.
there's no belly dancing, so it's probably
belly dancing is actually a lot of hip
Yeah.
movements.
that's true. Maybe it is a belly dancer. They just didn't have them do, you know, that belly thing. But I'd imagine it's probably a similar part of the world because it does look related. Or they got some like kid off the street and showed him a video of a belly dancer, and they're like, "I can't do that, but I can jiggle."
I can't do that, but I can do something adjacent to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I can jiggle a lot.
Wiggle,
But no,
wiggle,
even the
wiggle.
paint. I think that's like the best Orion paint we get in the original series. You know, it's kind of like lighter around where you'd be sweating more, like armpits,
I
whatever. but-
like the supposed to be Eastern yet supposed to be Arab.
Yeah, well,
brightly
because
colored
he
outfit.
was in that like rich palacey trader kind of thing, and from a European
said.
viewpoint, that is Arabia. So you know, it's
Like you said,
Yeah.
like we're not doing any specific
no,
culture, but it all feels kind of
I think that one was a specific.
I like how they're walking around in just like the tops of bathrobes.
I like the glittery jackets though.
As nice as those look, they look like they'd be awful to feel. Like they look like they're made out of fabric that
Yes.
would short circuit my brain.
Or it'd make a bad noise when they move their sleeves, but
It sounds like it'd make a noise.
well, yeah, they don't put the women in dresses in the cage. They also don't let the men go to the planet. You know,
Think of how you phrased that.
the guy, transport guy, was like, "They're not in dresses. Get rid of them."
Ethan, I'm going to
What?
repeat.
Well, you
something
know.
you said. They don't put women in dresses in the cage.
Oh,
Just think of how weird
Yeah.
that sounds out of context. Oh, it's Riker's dream. 3 women.
what is? Oh,
I wouldn't do that. You're gonna hear comic growling.
I'm probably still fully charged. Unfortunately, no one else in this room is doing it, and they're thinking about
You're
what
gonna
you're
hear
doing.
comic
Pike.
growling.
Commit. It's not time for tug of war.
Quit grabbing
It's-
it.
It's not time of tug of war. Does Strange New World still have yeoman? Cause I can't think of a yeoman. I think it was a good decision to get rid of the yeoman.
Whenever you say yeoman, I think of Yelmor, and then I think of like the Yelmors we made.
It's a military rank of basically secretary.
Secretary of State
No, just secretary.
of Defense.
No, like you're an old-timey woman and this is the best job you're gonna get kind of secretary. Am I
Okay,
wrong?
30s secretary. You're not wrong. Why do I have... You've destroyed this comment.
I also sense that she's not human and genetically engineered, but I won't bring that up now. Hang on a minute. Can we back up? Oh, is that the other woman who had fantasies about him? Or is that also Una? Oh, no. Una's not exactly old, is she? I mean, the actress is going to be around for like 40 years or something. Which I guess would make her like 30s, 40s-ish. I don't know. We're also seeing this Pike, for a large part of the episode, explicitly filling himself with hatred. Which, if you want to kind of reconcile it with Strange New Worlds, is one way to do it. But yeah, it's... Yeah. Imagine being, like, in your pilot episode, literally 3 different people have been in command. Rockets. Oh, good. God, it is. It is the cage. TOS is kind of like a weird offshoot, almost, of the Star Trek chronology. The cage is the weird offshoot of the weird offshoot. But we like it. We like good old TOS. Very slowly. I haven't invented the airlock yet. Boom, boom,
Beat his
boom,
butt.
boom.
Beat his butt. Beat his butt.
It's like, careful, Pike, don't take his mask off.
Oh, that scared me.
You got a jump scare? See, you get why I was afraid of this show as a kid. That smile, like... All their eyes stand out, like, yeah. I was about to ask you, like, how far is that history gonna go? Wait, did I see Apollo? Because Apollo, like, on the moon hadn't happened yet. So I think this might be remastered visuals. JFK, let's see. Those were some high-quality images at the end. I think that was remastered, because Apollo on the moon hasn't happened yet. But at least he did a nice there. He's like, you know, you're not gonna kill us for nothing. I'm not gonna, like, kill you. He's got Starfleet in him. But it's always hard. Oh. Like, it's always hard for these early people like Pike, even Kirk, or like the first Doctor too, where there's such a legacy in front of them they don't even know and can't live up to because it hasn't been invented yet. But, you know, there's still some Starfleet in Pike. And as I said, he's having to actively fill himself with, like, hatred and aggression, so you're not going to see him in the best light. Good old woman on the bridge, Pike. If I ever meet Anson Mount, it's going to be really hard not to call him Christopher Woman on the bridge, Pike.
That's why every time you say Christopher, I think you're gonna say Christopher Walken, because you go Christopher Woman. You say it in a similar cadence.
Does Una's actress actually have black hair? Because Roxana doesn't. And I vaguely feel like she dyed her hair. I think I knew that.
It's a very dark brown, not black.
Same thing.
It is not.
Wait, is one of them not an Earth? Well, actually, yes, but Pike doesn't know that. Gene Roddenberry doesn't know that. It's interesting how much originated in the cage, though. Like the weapon overloads, Orions. God, I can't remember everything I've brought up. But yeah. Just no roof on the elevator. Ooh, it's a weird pull. It's a well done effect, but I don't like looking at it. He's like, oh my god. I kind of like that, you know. I said before, it's an idea. Because I think it holds up, like, as a generalization at the species level. But, you know, it's one of those believably different things. And that, like, yeah, I could easily see most other races not really caring if it's pleasant captivity. How do you know? I've seen that thing. There's not a readout on it. Trust me, Pike, in 50 years there's gonna be a great story. I don't think I ever noticed consciously that the cage didn't have the famous, like, purpley, reddy, greeny lights. And so I know the sets are less colorful, like, there's less red, whatever. But it's weird seeing it normally lit, these sets. It makes it more interesting to compare to Strange New Worlds, that, of course, is very clinical and white. But actually, continuity-wise, you could say, yeah, okay, they didn't get the fancy lights till Kirk. So, you know, sure, the Enterprise looks white. I like that Telosian's, like, side-eye, like, ugh, I forgot about this. I mean, not really, but... Does this imply that everyone else on the cargo ship was so horrifically maimed they literally had no guide whatsoever, yet she survived? Yeah, welcome to the original series. Oh, and a fake pie. He's like, actually, Telosians, I don't know about this last bit. It's also gonna be weird when she shows up in Discovery wanting from me, so I guess, like, maybe this didn't work out. Just that looks like, am I a sex doll now? What is this? Like, there are reasons for her to stay. Like, maybe she's physically crippled in a similar way to how Pike, when he eventually wants to go back here to quote unquote, he can walk around again, be fully physically abled. And so, there are reasons she might want to stay on this illusion world. But the fact that she's, like, ugly isn't the best reason. I saw Sir Nays a lot.
Just a standard butt cart. Clipboard. Not a data pad, just a clipboard with paper.
Yep. The Enterprise printed out a piece of paper earlier in the episode.
Even though if they just had a cardboard box and called it a data box, we'd been like, yeah. A clipboard was probably more expensive.
Here's the great song. Do, 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 do. I would have loved it if this was the theme song for Strange New Worlds. Or even just the credits. Is it the credits? I don't remember, but I love it. Do you remember the song?
The disc part of it looks like a generic UFO. The disc part of that Enterprise looks like a generic UFO.
Do 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 do. Bong on,
like no.
CG Enterprise. There's no credits. It's just flying around. There we go.
By Robert Butler.
Robert Butler.
Written and produced by Gene Vidabin.
I know that guy. I know that guy. Mr. Spock, spelt out.
Majel Barrett and John Hoyt.
What would they have put in the credits? Like
Laura Goodwin. Production.
As number one, I guess, is what they would have put in the credits. But that was the cage. I think it does not hold up as well in a post-Strange New Worlds world, where we know this character. We've seen them in a lot more than just the Menagerie, and even Discovery. But still, it's an interesting piece of history. It's a good watch. I was impressed by a lot of, like, the backgrounds and stuff where the budget was spent. And not even just like, for the times thing. It's like, no, this is like, that's an impressively, to manages to pull this off. That's, that's impressive. But yeah, it's got the weird 60s-ness of, like, and you'll give her your beauty back. Like, so rushed. Like, it's... Pike, is that the concern here? You've got woman on the bridge, Pike, of course. Never let him live that down. But yeah, the cage was always weird. I mean, it wasn't even aired until the 80s. And I guess the bits from the Menagerie would be canon. But I guess the other bits would technically be questionable canon, but it's the Cage. It's weird. You have to watch TOS with that kind of weirdness in mind. But yeah, I mean, when we get to Kirk, it'll be a bit better, I think, because it's just the TOS knowing Pike. Like, that's not the Pike from Strange New Worlds. I don't think Strange New Worlds should have had the man we just saw as Pike for a lot of reasons. But, you know, this guy did a good performance, you know, with the character he's given, with the lines. Like, he was good. I don't know much about the actor. I don't know anything about the actor other than he did Pike, but I don't even know his name. I forgot it. But yeah, next week we will do, it's where no man has gone before, because it's the 60s. Let me just check. We'll be doing production order, so I think it's episode 3, technically. I have them listed in production order, but yeah, where no man has gone before with Gary Mitchell will be next week. And then, Corbinite Maneuver will be God Knows When. But that's a good one. Alex, as well, should be here for that. It'll be great to have him.
Huh?
You'll be here for next week, hopefully, with Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Probably.
Yep. Hopefully hearing it. So, thanks for watching.
Buy an audio splitter after this.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll